everybody, it's Karen Sullivan here with lifehealthmore.net. And I am the Shackley affiliate that is a personal trainer and here to help you become the very best version of yourself for 2018. I have such really cool things lined up between now and the end of the year. And so I'll be in touch and I'll be expressing some of the options in my shows and everything. And so I'll let you know. Now, I am, for those of you that might be coming on board now, my glasses are dirty. Sorry, I despise that. But anyway, and that seems like a silly thing to say, but let me tell you about myself. I am a personal trainer as well as a fitness instructor, and I do work with therapeutic exercise. It is really what I call it. I have a certification as a post-rehab exercise specialist. And so I go beyond once you've gotten physical therapy, I go past that. If you need physical therapy, it's important to do your physical therapy because they have machines and expertise that I don't. I take it to the next level. I have a different skill set and I help you to continue to be able to move and everything. So my page is lifehealthmore.net, but I also have, hey, Cynthia's here. Good morning, Cynthia. It is still morning, isn't it? So anyway, that's who I am. And to tell you a little bit about myself, I'm going to reach over here and get a cleaner to clean my glasses because it really irritates me a lot. And what it does is it makes me anxious when I can't see well. Probably 4 or 5 years ago, I had an incident where I could see flashing in my peripheral vision. And I thought it was so peripheral, it was way back here. I kept thinking like the mosquito truck was going through the neighborhood. Really, you know how they have the light that goes around and flashes? And I kept saying to my husband, what's that flashing? What's that flashing? So I went to the doctor I was seeing at the time, and he looked and said, there was nothing there. Well, hello. About 4 years ago, in 2014, I have the vision in my eye. No. I go to the doctor and find I have glaucoma really bad. And then there's an indicator that I had a retinal occlusion. Do you know what that is? Oh, no, you don't. Okay, I'll be glad to tell you. That's also known as a stroke of the eye. What a horrible way to express it, but it is a bleed in the eye and it happens in the retina. And it's a serious business, as any retinal problem is. So at that point, I was incredibly fortunate because it had stopped and I retained my vision. I could see just fine. That wasn't an issue. Anyway, jump back to a year ago in February. I got my brand new glasses. Maybe it's been 2 years now. Get my brand new glasses and I have them about 2 weeks, and I noticed that I can't see real well. And if I close my right eye, my left eye, I can't see anything. It's all jumbly and just distorted and I can't see at all. So I go to the doctor and I said, I don't think they did this prescription right. And she looks and goes, all right, stop right now. You have a retinal occlusion. Oh, great. It turns out 1% of the people who have had it once will get it again. Hello, that's me. So that was very frightening because I couldn't see out of my left eye at all. So I ended up go to a retinologist. Very long story short, he had recommended supplements, and I started taking the Corrado Max I've talked about before that Shackley has, and it's for eye health. And I also take zinc, which is also recommended for eye health. So, and I ended up having to have injections in my eyes, but after 2 injections, the doctor said, you're fine. So long story to get around to the fact that when I have something disrupting my vision, I'm hypersensitive about it. So that's why I always feel like I need to clean my glasses. And my windshield and everything. So that's not what we're talking about today. What we're talking about is Fit and Fab. And the title of this little teeny episode here is Just Desserts. So I'm not meaning that we're, you're getting what you asked for and good for you, and see, I told you you're getting your just desserts, or somebody that's a bully in school that someone else trips him, hey, he got his just desserts. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who eat desserts or other foods that are considered not to be necessarily diet. Okay. And I really despise that word. I don't like using the word diet because it makes it sound like you're not going to be able to enjoy life and enjoy foods. That's not what this is about. Now, we're going to focus just on desserts. That's why it's called Just Desserts. And because it's a little bit easier to talk about that as a food that's perhaps something you don't eat every single day. Now, you can still be, my last show on Monday was about how you can still be fit even when you are looking toward your goal still and you haven't arrived there yet. In the first place, remember, in my humble opinion, you are always fabulous. You are always fab. I don't care what size you are, how much weight you have to lose, how little weight you have to lose, whether you have to gain weight. I don't care about any of that. The bottom line is you are fabulous. You're an incredible person, and you need to recognize that right off the bat. Okay. Now the fit part comes where your fitness level is better, your cardiovascular is better, your numbers are better when you go to the doctor, including weight. But when you're not there, when you haven't arrived, it's not that you're not fit and you're not fab, it's that you're working toward it. And any life expectancy should be long term, and that's where our goals are too. Long term, I want to feel good, which is why my book, The Zen of Weight Loss, has a secondary explanation in cut line, sort of, as going back to my journalism days, is a mindful and livable approach to fitness that you're going to keep it up and keep it up. So when we're talking about having desserts, and if you're doing just desserts for your food source, then you're not going to get the nutrition you need. And you really need to smarten up and make sure that you're getting the nutrition you need. Like making sure you're getting your vegetables, making sure you're getting your fruits, making sure you're drinking enough water. Okay. You're not having too much of the bad stuff. Watch your saturated fats. Try to eat foods that are leaner and maybe perhaps a little bit more fish. Okay. So enjoying that shellfish, salmon, tilapia, whatever. And I know there's a lot of controversy about those sources of fish, but you really need, those dietary ideas are paramount. You have to do it. Now, how you eat, what you eat, when you eat, what foods you can tolerate is something that comes from journaling. Okay. Karen's got to get that journaling in there because it's an important thing to do for yourself. So here you are, you're going along your diet, and you've decided that you're going to have, always you're going to eat like Taco Bell and McDonald's and this and that, and occasionally a bowl of ice cream. And well, nutrient wise, flat, if not concave, as far as the nutrients that you're getting in your diet. So you need to change that and spiff it up a little bit. Now look at the next level of person in their eating, they have an occasional salad, they have some hamburger, they might have chicken, and vegetables, minimal vegetables. They're not real wild about them, so they don't think that they need them. Okay, again, that we got a little bit more of a concave, but maybe it's more coming up, a little bit higher, not as bad. Then you have the people who are nutritionally wise, eating better, doing a better job with their food. They're rocking the fish thing, and they're doing all kinds of shellfish, and they're just loving that freshness and the vitality and vegetables in the gardens, and they're doing super, and they're moderate in the amounts of food. Just because food is good for you doesn't mean you can eat a lot. And then occasionally they might have a drink or a dessert, that's great. Then you have the people, and of course then you have theirs more at a plateau level with their nutrients. This is about their nutrients, okay, which is what you need in order to survive. So you got your nutrient levels are here with people who are doing fish, lean meats, lots of vegetables, getting some grains, blah, blah, blah. Got it? I don't mean blah, 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 but you know what I'm saying. Then you have the people who are stellar. They don't have the sugar in their diets. They're not having the grains in their diets for whatever reasons that they can't have the grains or they want to modify it. They're having things like quinoa and perhaps even brown rice. And so they're healthier and they're getting nutrients. They have vegetables, and fruits and lots of water, and they feel great. And so their nutrients is actually convex. It goes up like this. Lots of nutrients. They got a whole pile of nutrients, and the body's doing really, really great with an occasional dessert if they can tolerate that sugar in their body. It's not going to give them headaches or anything else. So having your just desserts is okay on occasion, provided your body can handle it. Now, people who have only dessert ever, only sweets, only candy, only ice cream. I don't know why every time I say just desserts, I think of like this chocolate brownie with ice cream and chocolate sauce and whipped cream all over it, you know, and this gigantic thing. It's just the image that I have in my head. And having only the dessert not only leaves you devoid of any kind of nutrition, but sugar plays an incredible role in wreaking havoc on your whole endocrine system. And your body and blood sugar and just everything gets all cattywampus. And so it's really not a wise thing to do. Okay. Now, can you never have dessert if you're trying to be fit and fab, if you're on the voyage to be thin and get all that extra weight off and have your numbers be really good and have your doctor say, atta girl or atta boy, great work? Can you have something? I'll have to preface it with, let's say your body can handle the ice cream and it doesn't make you sick in any way with gastrointestinal repeat or whatever havoc in your intestines. Let's say you can do that. Let's say that the sugar doesn't give you a migraine headache, or worse yet, sort of, you know, make your stomach hurt or your joints bother you or whatever. If it's something that you can eat and you're not debilitated, then you have it on occasion. But always remember that if you haven't had things like sugar and the caffeine, even in the chocolate or the creamy, buttery, you know, ice cream, if you haven't had it, your body may respond adversely. And so you'll have to come back from that. You'll have to wait until everything balances out, because the body's whole digestive system is tied into, or the endocrine system is tied into digestion and the processing of food into energy. And if you're all discombobulated, then it's going to take a while for those to get balanced out again before the body starts burning the fat and you're starting to lose your weight again. So think, if I have this dessert, I'm at a birthday party, and if I have this dessert, am I going to be willing to have to fight my way back to where I am right now? Okay, let me say that one more time. If I have a dessert at a party, am I willing to take the time to fight my way back to how stupendous and fabulous I feel right now? So weigh that option. You can walk away. You can ask someone, like preferably your spouse or significant other, and say, can I just have a bite? Can I just have a bite? Yeah, that's what you need to do. Now, I think then when you have that bite, analyze how it tastes. And even if you decide to have the piece, analyze for yourself how that tastes. Does it fill you with joy? Which is just a terrible thing to say and to suggest. But a lot of times we do. You know, when I lived in San Diego, I worked at a Kinko's. It was called Copy. And I had a girl in the summer that worked for me who was overweight, and she would bring her lunch in, and she always had a whole lot of those little Debbie cakes. And she would talk about them like they were her best friend. And it was sort of this, I have this I love little Debbie cakes and yum, 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 yum. It's not a stab at the little Debbie cakes. It's a stab at the attachment that she had to it. And actually, I wept for her that it was something that had her so tied up and felt like it was not only okay, but it was kind of an important part of her life. And that's deep sadness I feel in my heart when that kind of thing comes. And if you were my client, if she was my client, I wasn't doing this at the time. And if she was my client, the thing that I would say to her is, now write in your journal how it makes you feel. What is it like? And if you write yum, 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 okay, this is really good. This is a wonderful thing. This really tastes wonderful. And it's blah, blah, blah. I can think of other cakes and things that I'd like to have. My mom used to make cold oven cakes that was like a pound cake sort of a thing that had much more flavor because you had the vanilla that you could taste in it, and it was just more flavorful than something like that. So figure out how it makes you feel, and then figure out if it's worth it. After an hour later, how does your body feel, and figure out if it's worth it. And it'll take a while. You might eat that little Debbie cake or whatever for a while before you suddenly recognize, this is not wonderful. You should be eating marvelous food. And if you have dessert, make it worthwhile. Have something that will rock your socks. That is the best thing in the world, right? So, but as you write in the journal about it, then eventually it'll get to the point where your mind will remind you that you're live the same day. Jerry, I am live at all different times now. I used to be at the same time, and I decided I'm going to come on and surprise people, but it's always on my timeline. Okay. So anyway, so when you have the foods and you recognize, that's really wasn't probably the best choice. If I am going to spend my calories on something, I want to make it worth it. I want to make it fantastic and enjoy it, And I have to say, as I'm here, Jerry Levesque is on right now watching, and she is the co-author with me with those books. And she did, when we were working on the Zen of Weight Loss, she really helped me to understand this enjoyment of food thing, because I had adapted this or adopted this attitude that food was my enemy. And she's a cook. I've talked about her several times in lots of my videos, but the first time I've ever been able to say it with her present. And she taught me about food. She likes to cook. It's something she enjoys. And so eating is an event. Her table is always set. She always has candles on the table and a tablecloth or placemats. And it's always an opportunity to sit and enjoy family, friends, and enjoy the food. That's what I'm saying to you right now. You need to make your choices so that what you're eating not only fills you up in the nutritional standpoint. Okay, remember, you don't want to have concave nutrition. You want to have nutrition that's really convex. You want to have overflowing nutrition in the choices of food that you have. And then when you have something that is not necessarily a diet food, not happy about the diet word, but you understand that, right? So when you have those things, make it something that you'll really, really enjoy. Okay. So from Karen Sullivan, lifehealthmore.net. I hope that you sign on and subscribe there. You can also subscribe to to my YouTube page where these videos are there and more. And so I appreciate you stopping in. Thanks so much for being here today, and find it. And you can also get it and share it with your friends so that they can see it in replay, because it'll be around. Thanks. Take care.